What's going on, people? This is your boy Gravy on top, two Negro nerds, with that EA Sports UFC demo that came out yesterday. I would have had this up yesterday, but for some reason it took 9 hours to download this demo. I don't know what was going on with the internet. My internet is slow. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I wouldn't say excited. I was kind of intrigued to see what this was about after, they kept on showing Bruce Lee. I was like, well, gonna have to try one of these UFC MMA games, one of these type of games like this. And yeah, well, I just let you guys see. This is me playing it. It starts off with you going through a tutorial, and it's gonna show you all the basic moves that you need to know. Well, not the basic. If it was basic, I think it would be between 1 and 7 instructions, but it's 1 and 18, which is going to tell you 18 different moves to use. You go through this little tutorial before you play it. Well, first off, let's talk about how the game looks. It looks okay. I mean, you can tell it's next gen, but it doesn't look like anything special. It looks like it has a little bit more polish on it than last gen or whatever. But honestly, it looks like it could have been the best looking game on last gen. Best looking game of its kind on last gen. But it doesn't necessarily look that great. But it looks okay. I'm not shitting on it. It looks alright. It looks okay. I was looking at the difference in the old. Well, there's only been one other MMA game, the one that came out in 2010, I believe. I didn't play it. Isn't my type of game. You'll see that when I actually get into a real fight, and you see who comes out the winner. But yeah, it looks like maybe they just polished it a little bit, put some shadows on the floor, and put the frame rate up to 60. But other than that, it doesn't really look that impressive. And you might not be able to see what I'm talking about necessarily right now. But wait until you get into the intros and all that. And the moves, like, it does not seem like you really are hitting the person that hard. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. Like I said, I haven't played games like this. This isn't really my type of game. When it comes to fighting games, I think Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Soul Calibur, stuff like that, Tekken, games like that. I've never really been into the MMA, Fight Night, WWE games like that, where it's kind of realistic fighting. I'm kind of an arcade fighting type of person. So that's just me. I'm not going to be biased on this. If you like that type of game, well, hey, you'll probably pick it up because you have no other choice. There's no other game out there. You kind of get the feel that I've gotten with the basketball games, like NBA 2K14. I don't like that game. I really don't. I have it. I have it on PS3 and on PS4. I don't really like it. Why do I have it on both? Because I want to play, like, I get the urge to play a basketball game. I'm sitting there watching a real basketball game, and I'm like, I'm gonna play with my Pistons, man. So I get on there and whoop somebody's ass. But I don't really like it. There's a whole lot of glitches and stuff like that, but I have no other choice. Like, what was NBA Live? They suck. I don't know what happened to them. They need to step their game up. I don't even know if they're probably even going to come out with another one. I wouldn't be surprised. but I have no other choice, so that's why I have to play it. So you might be stuck in that one. It's like you like it because you like UFC, mixed martial arts and all that, but you don't have any other game to rival it, so you have to play this one, but you might not necessarily like it. I'm gonna tell you this: anybody who's getting into this and you're not really a fan of UFC, you have not played any MMA games, anything like that, and you're just getting it just because you saw Bruce Lee on it. I've completely changed my mind. I'm not gonna pick it up, only because I'm not gonna. No, it's gonna take too much for me to learn how to play this game, and I don't have the time for it. I'm sorry. I'll just get the Street Fighter game when it comes out. But you know what? We're gonna go straight into the actual fighting. As you see, you learn how to do all the takedowns and all that, but you'll see why I say that I don't necessarily think it should have been 18 lessons that you learn. It should have been maybe shorter, maybe. Well, we'll be back with the actual fighting. Alright, so we've started the actual match that you get into after the tutorial. I have no idea who these two guys are. Like I said, I'm not really, I don't really, I've watched it before, but I'm not a UFC avid watcher or avid fan or anything like that. So I don't know who these people are. I know who Anderson Silva is, dude who got knocked out being stupid and broke his leg the year later, but I know about that. Now, I mean, this looks good. It looks like they did the hair and the faces. They look pretty nice. It definitely looks better than the one the MMA one that came out 3 years ago. Yeah, of course it looks better than that. I mean, it looks polished. It looks nice. But other than the frame rate being up higher, being at 60 frames per second, I don't really see this as. It could have been on last gen, and it just would have really looked nice on last gen, but this is just really average. But it's a fighting game. It's a sports game, so graphics aren't necessarily the forefront of what they're trying to put into it anyway, but still, I don't know. It doesn't look bad though. I mean, I'm not shitting on it. It just doesn't look like, to me, like it should be. It should look a little bit more detailed. But alright. Now, as you can see, I've totally forgotten everything that I learned in the tutorial. I don't remember any of that stuff. I remember like 2 things. Something about hitting R1 to do something. R2 is the block. I'm trying to kick him. Okay, I'm kicking him. I remember that hitting the right stick to the right grabs him, then he takes me down, and I can't remember how in the hell. Like, I spent a full 2 minutes on how to get out of being put in a takedown. First, look at these hits. I don't like that. Look at the punches. They look so fake. It doesn't look like you're really doing damage to anybody. Really, look at that. Look at that. That's not how it looks when somebody's on top of the other dude, hitting him, smashing his face in. And then I realized that they didn't show me how to get up when you're on the ground in the tutorial. Luckily, I figured it out from button smashing. Ultimate way to do it. And he just knocks me out that quickly. I suck. I suck ass. Okay? I don't care. I'm not ashamed to say it. I suck at this game. I suck. Yep, that was it. That was over. It was over with. Look at that shame face. I don't know what I'm doing on this game. Who this dude controlling me? Let me get my ass kicked like that. No, put his hand down. Put his hand down. But no, man. Having 18 things that you have to remember. First off, the brain, this is Miller's Law. Look it up. The brain in the average person is only going to remember the max of about 7 things. And that's 7 is numbers, okay? I think 7 is numbers. I think 7 is numbers or digits. 5 is words or something like that, and 4 is objects or something. I don't know. But the average person is only going to remember things in clumps of 7. You give me 18 things to remember, and then the moment the fight starts, you're going to forget all that shit. It's the same thing where if you played any NBA 2K games and you've looked online to see how to play good defense and all that, you're like, yeah, okay, I know, I'm gonna figure this out. I know how to do these crossover and these moves now from watching that dude on YouTube. And then you get into the game and you completely forget everything. Like, you remember 1 or 2 things that he told you to do, and then by the end of the game you've completely forgotten all of that and you've just gone back to how you play. So the moment the fight started, it just all left my head. I think it would have been better if, in certain games where the game can tell that you're not doing well, you're getting your ass kicked, or you keep dying over and over, and it puts a little hint up saying, hey, remember I told you that you can do this to get out of this? I think it would have been nice if they had added that into here. Just for people who, like, come on, look at that. 2 knockouts in a row. I lasted a little bit longer and he didn't get me on the floor that time, but I didn't know what I was doing. Give some help to the extreme noobs. I'm an extreme noob on that. But honestly, I mean, if you're a fan of this type of game, you're gonna like it. If you know what you're doing in it, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like the way it looks. You're not gonna really care about how it looks. It looks better than the last game. Look at his hair. See, the hair is detailed. Look at it. He's still got the shame face on. Man, put the controller down, dude. I don't want you playing with me no more. But yeah, this has been your boy Gravy on top of my first impressions of the game. If you like this type of game, get it. If you don't know anything about it, don't get it, or look forward to hours and hours of just trying to figure it out while getting your ass kicked. The demo's up. You got a PS4 or Xbox One, go ahead and try it out. Peace.